Good morning, everybody. Before we get going, I want to recognize our soon-to-be sworn-in, newly elected City Council member, Josh Wood. Stand up. We will swear him in next week so he can officially begin all of his duties. But I tell you what, Josh, I've already been getting some emails and things. I'll just go ahead and forward them to you now. I remember when I started, I hadn't been sworn in and I was still getting the requests and, complaints and things. So we'll send them your way. Okay. Do you want to tell us about canvassing the votes and what we're doing?
Yes. During the regular meeting downstairs, it will need to recess at noon. And then Lisa should be here and the Board of Registrars will be here to canvass the vote. And then the regular meeting can
Resume?
reconvene.
Okay. All right. How long will that take, do you think?
Yes, at noon.
So it's right at noon, no matter if we end early or?
Yes, if you end early,
We'll recess and come back.
right,
Okay.
because then there's a resolution.
Okay. All right. So did everybody hear that? We will recess and come back at noon to canvass the votes. Once the votes are canvassed, then we will officially adjourn. Okay. All righty.
Yes.
Well, Lana is here. Lisa will be in later. So Lana. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, August 1st. Appeals, we have a request for a waiver of the noise ordinance at 3404 Moffett Road on September 1st from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m.
Good.
Okay. Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Sabrina Mass will address her concerns about wording in a letter she received, the First Amendment of the Constitution, and the change of city council rules and procedures. Johnny Robinson will speak about trash services he is paying for but not receiving, and the maintenance of the community.
And Ben, that's in your district.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I've spoken with Mr. Robinson on several occasions, and I know he's made several requests for, a particular pile of trash to be picked up, and I've made requests on his behalf, but we don't seem to be getting the response that we're looking for.
Okay. Does Public Works have that that address? I don't know if Jim, if you're aware of it, but do you have that address, Ben, on exactly?
I think it might be a different, I understand a different issue, but we'll get the address and figure out what the real problem is. And hopefully we'll have it before 10 o'clock. At least know what the
Okay, because you had the address, didn't you, Lana?
It was a P.O. box,
Oh,
and I
that's-
called him to get a physical address and left a message, and he did not return my call.
It's on LaSure Drive,
Somewhere?
LaSure,
LaSure Drive.
L-E-S-U-R-E Drive.
In Theodore.
Yep. LaSure, L-E-S-U-R-E. It's one of the few remaining dirt roads in the city. I think some of his frustration comes from, the grading of the road, and it's kind of being
Narrow.
drawn in more narrow over the years. And when a grader comes out, they just make one track out and they're not really keeping up with the full right of way. So now it's kind of closing in on him, and he's, kind of at his wit's end with it all.
Did you say grading? Yeah. So it's a dirt road?
It's a dirt
That's
road.
right. Inside the city limits?
Yep.
That's right.
I've got some too.
Got some too.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have some good things.
Okay. All right, Lana.
Okay, Timothy Hollis will speak about ordinance 02032 and a letter he received from the council attorney. David Shalott will speak about safety for citizens and police not doing anything about texting and driving.
I don't know, Jimmy, or if the chief will be here, if y'all want to say anything about what the city is or is not doing about texting and driving. I know there are some new rules. If there's some update that we need that we can do today with this.
I'll reach out to see what's next.
Okay.
Reggie Hill will speak to council oversight, the ARB, the Planning Commission, Neighborhood Development, Ladd Stadium, and the fiscal year 24 budget. Ordinances held over. 34034, ordinance to amend ordinance 34028, 2012, to extend and renew the capital improvement program. 88035, ordinance deeming property at 109 South Jefferson Street not now needed for public or municipal purposes and authorizing the sale.
Location of those properties are where? Is that, Broad and, Jefferson behind the old housing board property? It is. Does, Big Zion, AME Zion have, if I remember right, 2006, there was an agreement between Big Zion and AME Zion, with that property being used as extended, parking use for their church, along with the piece across the street and piece in front of the Church Street Cemetery there.
I'm not aware of it. That's a federally.
I am, because I was there.
Yeah, that's federally funded property, so it's not for appropriate use of the property. But the developer's person has already talked to the church.
So that there's been proper agreements between the church and the developer.
Yeah.
What about the property across the street, on Church Street, because all that was tied together at the same hit? You know, it was a big move to get that for the church at that time. So has all that been?
As far as I'm aware, the developers talked to anybody that had some interest in property. So
We might need to go back and look and see if there was anything put in writing about that in that time period to make sure that
probably
everything was
wouldn't
right.
have been because that's not eligible use of the property funds.
Jamie, I understand what you're saying. I'm telling you from experience what happened to get it there. So all I'm saying is let's do our due diligence and make sure that it's done right is what I'm asking for. I mean, I don't mind doing this. I just want to make sure that we're not doing something that we put in writing way back when I first got here. Because that was a heavy lift for Big Zion and Design to tie all that up.
They have a parking lot this property.
If there was 5 lots, it was the Church Street lot with the big oak tree, the 2 lots behind where the houses used to be, and across the street behind Brewers. All that,
This is the 4th lot. So Rashawn figured he bought the building and 2 lots. This one got held up because the church objected. They wanted it for $1. That weren't the federal rules. But they've now agreed to this.
I remember the church really wanted that property at one time, and there was an agreement in place for their use of that property. They would maintain that property after that use from that time up until the day. They're cutting it, cleaning it, they're doing everything to that property to maintain it. So I mean, I just hadn't heard it. So whatever's there, I need to make sure that,
Yeah, I'm not aware of agreement with Dr. Carlix.
well, let's just make sure before. I don't mind this at all. I just want to make sure we're not doing anything that's another.
All right, go ahead.
Resolutions held over. 09801, transfer funds from general fund engineering, professional and technical to performance contracts for Events Mobile for the Moon Pie Drop. 21802, authorized contract with Thompson Engineering for North Washington Avenue street and culvert repairs. 21803, authorize a contract with First Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church to repair and complete installation of sidewalks on Shelby Street. 37804, consider approval of a certificate of public convenience and necessity to Friends of African American Heritage Trail to operate a shuttle service. 60, 805, 806, and 807 are authorizing settlement agreements and release of claims. Consent resolutions being introduced. 09813, transfer funds from District 2 discretionary funds to Parks and Recreation General Fund account. 03812, appoint Philip Davenport to the Mobile Downtown Redevelopment Authority.
Just a quick reminder, some of you guys.
William, would you like the floor? We are trying to be a little bit more formal with our meetings and have everybody recognized. So would you like to speak? Yes, go ahead.
Never mind. I'll talk to you.
No.
I'm fine.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Go ahead.
58, 814, 841, and 815 are declaring weeds noxious, group 1644, authorize removal of weeds, Group 1643, and assess cost for removal of weeds, Weedling Group 1640. 6816, determine an appropriation to Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, serves a public purpose and approve payment. The legal department asked us to add 21842 to declare a public works repair emergency and authorize the city engineer to obtain a contract for the repair, to repair the emergency without advertisement.
I'm not aware of this one. Can,
Ben?
Madam Vice President, I'm not aware of 21842. What's going on with it? Emergency
Jim,
repair.
Jim or Shonda, do y'all have the emergency repair on this one, 21842? Nick? Okay.
This is on the Grenadier Court. It's the Windsor side of it.
That better?
That's
Okay,
better.
sorry about that. This is off Hillcrest, the Windsor subdivision, Grenadier Court. Some of these rain events that we've had, water got up underneath the asphalt and peeled the asphalt back a pretty significant amount. The continuous rainfalls have made it worse, so we're trying to get the contractor in there as quickly as we can to make it whole. Probably got about 100 feet or so of roadway that's got underneath the asphalt.
Any other questions?
CIP resolutions being introduced, 08817, approved purchase order to Gray Bar Electric Company for traffic signal LED lights, visors, and cables for various CIP projects, $155,149.97.
Any questions on this one? Okay.
21818, authorize approval for change order with Chris Brewer Contracting for Hillwood Road Sidewalk Project. It's a $70,000 increase.
I'm going to ask Joel if you will just explain this one and the one that follows, just so that everybody knows what it is. Yeah, the one that Village of Spring Hill is providing the funding for in the next section.
Yeah. This is a project to make some changes to the triangle that's at the intersection of Hillwood Road and Old Shell Road. And it will kind of improve the appearance of it and help the drainage. And this is being entirely funded by the Village of Spring Hill.
And that will come up in the next section under resolutions. So what he's saying is the Village of Spring Hill is actually paying the city for this particular work in a partnership. Okay, Lana?
21836, authorized contract with James H. Adams and Son Construction Company for 2023 CIP miscellaneous drainage repairs, Group A, $944,444.
Anybody have any questions on that? They provided a map and it's got how many, 10 or so sites on that map, Jim?
Yes.
Is that right? Do you have the exact locations that you can send to the council on where those sites are? I mean, I can see it on the map, but it doesn't really, you can't see where.
The addresses, Dave will share with the
Yeah.
council.
If you'll just share those streets, that would be great, or the areas. Any other questions on that?
Resolutions being introduced, 01819, authorize agreement between the city and Alabama Department of Transportation for Ziegler Boulevard from Athey Road to Forest Hill Drive, $18,299,308.65.
I'm going to ask Nick if you will just explain what this is, Nick, and where we are on Ziegler.
Good morning again. And this is not new money. This is just a renewal. These contracts that we have are agreements that we have with AlDOT. From time to time, they ask for them to be renewed. And that's all this is doing, not changing any of the terms or anything with the contract. Project's going really, really well. We're hoping that the section from University to Forest Hill, which is in front of the park, trying to get that back opened up before school starts. I mean, certainly it should be sometime within October. They're getting
Yeah.
very, very close. And the rest of the project in the first quarter of 2024, it should be substantially complete and open to traffic.
Okay. I had gotten a question from some residents who live in Imperial Woods and that little section right off of Ziegler, close to the university, because the median that's being built over there will prevent them from being able to head west from their subdivision. And Guy O'Connor sent me some information, and I sent that to them and told them, why, and the safety concerns and the reason that the median was being built that way. And they said they certainly understood it. So,
Okay.
so that was good.
Thank you.
Joel?
Madam Chair, yeah, Nick, as long as you're there, could you give us an update on the McGregor project between Old Shell and Spring Hill Avenue,
North McGregor.
Yeah,
more
so-
than North McGregor?
Much like that Ziegler project, we were pushing to try to get it opened up before school starts. We're going to be ever so close. Weather events have, obviously that slows construction down. Certainly we hope by the end of October, that'll be, not October, I'm sorry, by the end of August, it'll be open. They're very, very close. The majority of the water work is done. If you recall, that project had a lot of water, big water pipes made, that's all done. So the contractor is now wrapping up concrete work and then should be paving very shortly after that. There still may be some ongoing work on the sides with some sidewalks. I
But
think
street
there's a
will be
little bit of pavers there, but the focus is trying to get the main thoroughfare open back up.
Okay. And McGregor, just north of Dolphin Street, the sign says it's going to open September 1st. I had thought that was only going to be closed like for 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, that has taken a little bit longer. There was actually 2 utilities that was in there. The initial work was associated with the large gas line relocation. AT&T work is within that limits as well. And that's just taking a little bit longer than we had anticipated.
But do you think September 1st is a good
We're
date on
holding
that?
to September 1st, if not earlier, hopefully earlier.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir. Mr. Penn?
Yes, I see that, I guess Albert, maybe Nick can, put 18 million in, and I guess the city put how much?
So this was one of these 80-20 projects where the federal participation is 80% of the project and the city's participation is 20%. Our 20% primarily came from pay-as-you-go.
Anybody else? Okay.
04820, accept funds from the Village of Spring Hill for Hillwood Road sidewalks, $70,000. 08821, approve purchase order to QSERA International for GIS base map update services, $33,250. 08822, approve purchase order to Charge Point Incorporated for annual renewal of electric vehicle charging station software and support services, $16,500.
I have a question on this. Talking about electric vehicles and things, how many electric or hybrid vehicles do we have in our fleet? 0?
Hybrid, there may be a couple hybrids, but no pure electric in the fleet.
In the fleet.
Except for the garbage truck that we purchased, which
Yeah.
actually is being delivered today. And we tested it and from driver's training. But we just did a planning session to have an acquisition strategy to start to bring in electric vehicles into the fleet. The first step is we want to also make sure the infrastructure at the city facilities to support that. So we're working on that right now with Alabama Power to put some charging stations at key points in city facilities, and then we'll work for procurement of vehicles. And it's not gonna be a lot, because there's only certain types that are useful to the city.
Yeah.
But we definitely have a plan moving forward on that.
But right now, this is primarily for other vehicles that are electric and need.
This is
Yeah.
for street charging.
Any other questions? Wade?
If I remember correctly, there was a request in year 1 of this term by the previous District 6 council person for an inventory of all fleet equipment and vehicles. I have not seen that, and that was a request in writing at that time. We're a year and a half into this term, and we still don't have that. If we had that, questions like she just asked wouldn't be needed because we would already know. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was asked by him, but it was for the entire council. So if only he got it, then no one else got it because I don't have it. So I would appreciate a copy of it. That way we wouldn't have to ask those questions.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
08823, approve purchase order to Environmental Systems Research Institute for annual maintenance for mapping software for GIS, $103,380. 08824, approve purchase order to Deere and Company for 4 John Deere utility tractors for Parks Department, $252,830.04.
On this one too, I know our slope mower is down again. Will this cover a new slope mower or are these just regular? Just regular. Are there any plans to buy a new slope mower?
We just had 3, I'll look at the procurement plan on that. We said 3 that just came up yesterday that were in town.
Good.
Used and they were in house stages. So, I just gotta look at the cycle on where those are in replacement.
Okay, and there's Kim.
Yes, and actually we have one, should be delivered the 1st of September.
Great.
So as soon as we get it, we'll be back on the slope again.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Okay.
08825, approve purchase order to Sansum Equipment Company for rear load garbage truck on Peterbilt chassis, $221,839. 08826, approve purchase order to Best Price Services for clearing of storm ditches, Cody Road to University Boulevard, Ziegler Road to Old Shell, $575,000. 08827, approve purchase order to Toter LLC for garbage cart lids, wheels, and hinges, $79,650.16. 08828, approve purchase order to North American Fire Equipment Company for fire hose and replacements for the fire department, $26,360. 08829, approve purchase order to Classic Paint and Body for repair damage to Chevrolet Tahoe, $17,995.35. 08830, approve purchase order to Jacobs Technology for electronic equipment and installation for MPD Cyber, $161,040. 08831, approve purchase order to One Source Power and Equipment for a tilt trailer for Facilities Maintenance Department, $37,315. 21832, authorized contract with Volkert for professional services at Heroes Park, $148,914.35. 21834, authorized contract for LexisNexis Desk Officer Reporting System, $63,900. 21835, authorized 3-year service contract with Fire and Safety Commodities for fire extinguisher inspection, servicing, and maintenance at various city locations, $57,135 total. 21837, authorized 3-year service contract with Professional Fire Protection Services for fire suppression systems inspections at various city locations, $28,660 total. 21841, authorized contract with Geotechnical Engineering Testing to administer the construction, geotechnical, and materials testing of the 3 Mile Creek Greenway Trail, $23,828. 60838, authorized settlement agreement and release of claims. Call for public hearings. 41839, call for public hearing to modify a planned unit development located at 2970 McVeigh Drive North and 3030 McVeigh Drive North, scheduled for August 29th.
Madam Vice President.
Yes, sir. Mr. Reynolds. I'm looking at you going, Ben Reynolds.
21832 is this contract with Volkert for professional services at Heroes Park. This is in front of the convention center. Is Heroes Park, that name, just a placeholder as of now?
Yeah.
Because there is already a
It's
Heroes
not- It
Park.
shouldn't be park, it's first of all, I think it's supposed to be plaza, it's park, it's supposed to be
yeah.
plaza. But, that's a tentative name of those projects. Not our
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Mayor, anybody? All right, we will see you downstairs, and remember that we will take the recess to canvass the votes down in the auditorium. Thanks, everybody.
Cover some of this contract.